Do you sometimes feel stuck? Maybe you don't have the energy to move forward or to change things in your life. In this episode, we're going to discuss how you can go from feeling stuck to unstuck, how to go from feeling that you don't have the energy to actually taking steps forwards to get what you want in your life, in your business, in your relationships. First and foremost, you need to notice why you're feeling stuck, where this is coming from, and which area in particular are you feeling stuck in. Notice the sort of patterns that come up. Maybe you're constantly repeating the same cycle. Maybe you're not innovating enough. Notice what shows up for you in those different moments. Then think about what's it coming from. What are the patterns that are repeating themselves, and what is the origin? What is generating this feeling of stuckness? And what I've seen time and time again is a combination of several factors that makes you feel this way, that makes you feel stuck and not moving forward and not progressing. The first factor is low energy. This is something I discuss a lot in many episodes. If you have low physical energy, if you're not sleeping well, you're not eating correctly, and you're not exercising, this will impact your whole mood, your whole body, all your hormones, and can give you a bit this lethargy and this feeling of stuckness. Very easy way, not easy, not simple, it still takes an effort, but easy as in there are specific steps you can take. Check in each area, check your sleep. Put some healthy habits in place, going to bed same time, waking up same time, ensuring that you're not checking your blue lights before going to bed, eating early in the evening so you have deep sleep. These are small hacks that you can use to have greater sleep, and it's all about implementing them because knowledge without implementation isn't worth anything. A small hack that I use recently is putting a small piece of tape over my mouth, which I was inspired to do after reading James Nestor book, Breath. This is a very powerful tip to have greater, deeper sleep because you breathe through your nose instead of through your mouth, and it makes your sleep deeper. Sleep is one of them, and then nutrition, obviously cutting out on sugar and alcohol and all the processed food. This already will give you a lot more energy. Eating more greens, eating more protein also, and start to notice how this is affecting your whole energy. And if on top of that you're exercising regularly, going out, getting sunlight first thing in the morning, which is what Huberman talks a lot about in his podcast, Lab Huberman. And he also says how important it is to have sunlight first thing in the morning. If your physical energy is greater, is stronger, this will already help you to shift a bit and to get unstuck. Now, if you're still feeling stuck in spite of taking great care of your physiology, of your physical body, then it's important to look at alignment. Are you aligned in what you're doing? A very simple test for this is check if what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're doing are all aligned. Great example. If you're thinking, I don't want to work on this project anymore. If you're saying to the people, hey, I'm really excited to work on this project. And if you're doing the project, not aligned. You're thinking you don't want to do it, and yet you're doing it. Another example, if you're thinking, oh, I'd love to invest more in my hobbies and be more creative and spend time doing music and art. If you're saying you'd love to create more and write and do workshops on painting and play music, but if what you're doing is none of those things, not aligned. Very simple way of checking, are you aligned? Listen, what are the primary thoughts, desires, fears are coming up? What are the emotions you're feeling? What are you saying to yourself and to others? And what are you actually doing? If it's all aligned, it will look something like this. I really want to progress on my blog. You'll say, I'm really looking forward to writing blog articles. You'll write your blog articles. You feel good. Sounds super basic and simple, but this is an easy way to tune in with yourself and think, wait a minute, am I leading a life where I'm aligned? What happens is, if you don't check up on this regularly, at one point, something will happen, maybe a birthday with the zero at the end, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you'll think, wait a minute, I don't want to be living here or doing this job, or even some people in that relationship, and then all goes to havoc and you want to start all over again. If you're checking in regularly, every week, every month, think, Is this aligned? Is this something I want to be doing? Am I happy where I'm living? Does this feel right? And you're tuning in regularly. This will avoid you reaching that big birthday and suddenly panicking and realizing none of it is aligned. You can realize this sooner, take baby steps and shift. So part of the reason people are feeling stuck is because either the energy levels are low or they're not leading a life or work that is aligned with their purpose, with what they want to do, their desires, what's important for them. And of course, this will make you feel lethargic, tired, drained. First steps you can do once you start to notice and once you start to already shift your physiology in your body is to start to take these micro steps towards leading a more aligned life. Don't, please, wait till when I'm retired or 5 years from now or when I've earned all this money, because that doesn't work as a strategy. Many people think they can endure this hard time for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and then it will all be fine. This sometimes leads to burnout, it sometimes leads to depression, it leads to unfulfillment, and it leads to you putting your whole real life on pause, your authentic life, what you really want to be living, all on hold while you're hoping that this horrible phase just goes away and you earn a bit more money, for instance. When I hear people thinking that way, it really gives me shivers because I think, A, you don't know. You don't know what tomorrow is made of, or next year, or 5 years. That doesn't mean you can't do any form of long-term planning, but let's not just put your whole life on hold for that long. And B, as a strategy, it doesn't work because during this time you're feeling miserable. This can create illnesses, it can create psychological, mental health problems. You want to work on it now. Doesn't mean that if you're in a job that you hate that you should quit tomorrow, but it means maybe start looking for alternatives, maybe start investing a bit of time and energy into thinking how you create your own business or what other jobs you could apply to. Start to put in practice some things that will help you to be more aligned, because then at least your soul will know, okay, we're doing something about this. We're gradually shifting towards a direction that is more aligned, and you'll feel better. So even if you're in a soul-crushing job that you hate, you can still take baby steps to create the dreamed life or whatever you dream of. So don't put it on hold. Don't just bear through it hoping that in 5 years from now it'll be okay. Start to already take those mini steps, be reading about it, can be contacting a few people, start to build up the momentum to create what's important for you. So that's the second aspect. So we've got the energy, we've got the alignment, and the last one is listening to the cycles. What I mean by this is we have different cycles. We have the circadian rhythm, but we have the monthly rhythms, especially for women, and we have the seasons. And if we don't listen to these cycles, these energetic cycles, this can really make us feel drained and stuck. I know that Imogen Roy talks a lot about this. You can check her out. I also did a podcast episode with Imogen a while back. We didn't talk about this specifically, but I know she has great content on this. And the idea is that if you're in a phase, for example, where you're feeling really prolific, really creative, do it, explore, do all of that. But then comes a feeling of rest. It's a bit like summer is followed by winter. And if you don't in that moment acknowledge that and rest, but you force yourself create more, then you burn out or you feel drained or you feel stuck. So we need to listen to these fluctuations. For women, for instance, the pre-of time of the month is fantastic for being very left brain activities, planning and sorting out things and organizing. Great. And in the pre-menstrual phase, being a little more creative, explorative, brainstorming, and more rest also. And if you acknowledge that, then after the periods in that pre-op state, again, you can be back on track and feel great. But if you don't pause and rest, you'll feel drained all through your cycles. Same with the rhythm of the seasons. And I'm not saying just stop working when it's winter. Say acknowledge that different seasons have phases. In summer also, a lot of people take holidays. This impacts the cycles in which we work. So listen to your body, listen to the natural energetical cycles, people around you, how things are impacted, and make sure that you plan that time for rest and for reflection. Because if we're always in action and we're not reflecting, this also hinders our performance, hinders our well-being, and can give us this feeling of stuck. So let's briefly recap. Number one, physical body. Check in with yourself. Sleep, nutrition, exercise. Yes, the basis. Yes, you've heard it a million times before, but there's a reason for this. Are you actually implementing it? Are you eating healthily? What can you shift in your diet to make it healthier? What can you shift in your physical exercise? Just walking a bit more, maybe starting a sport, maybe getting a fitness trainer, just small things here and there to really pump up your physical energy. Tremendously important and can really lift that mental fog. Okay, once that's done, then we look, are you aligned? Is what you're thinking, saying, and doing aligned? Does it feel right for you? Does it feel like the Wu Wei, the Taoist Wu Wei, or does it feel like you're just forcing the whole time? If you notice you're not aligned, take small steps or huge steps if you want to, but make sure you're going in that direction of alignment. Make sure you are taking those steps towards something that feels great and feels more aligned. And the last step is listen to the cycles. Listen to the cycles of up and down, action and rest, different moments of the month, different moments of the day, different moments of the year, how all of these impact you, and listen and apply it. If you listen and you hear, okay, I'm really in the mood to go all in, but do a lot, great. I'm in the mood to rest a bit more, good. I'm in the mood to socialize a bit more. Not just in the mood because you fancy, but in the mood because it feels right, it feels aligned. And if you do all of this, you won't feel stuck. You'll feel moments of great productivity and performance, and you'll feel great moments of rest, regeneration, and reflection. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Enjoy the journey and remember to connect with the magic of life.